Hi, welcome to another monthly budget. Today we're going to be talking about my spending for February and what I plan to spend for March. So to start off, we're going to chat about my no-buy year so far. So I didn't update in January, things were going well. And February also things went well. So I didn't spend any money in my no-buy categories. However, I somehow managed to spend thousands of dollars in other categories. Some were somewhat unavoidable, but yeah, it was just a little bit discouraging after having a low amount of spending overall last month, and then February spending like thousands of dollars, like I said. So we'll get into that in a little bit. I think the most of the money was spent outside of the budget because it was mostly, well, not mostly, half of it was outside of the budget. So it was like travel expenses. So you might notice that this video is getting up a tad bit late, and that's because I did a sort of spontaneous, we'll call it a spontaneous trip to Nicaragua. I actually just got back yesterday, so I'm trying to get this done, and then I have another trip tomorrow to Naples. So like I have a ton going on, unfortunately. In terms of like getting things done, it's been not good in that way. So those two things happened, and then I ended up booking a work-related trip to Vienna. We'll talk about that more in a few. So that costs money, like getting the flight and the hotel. Those are like reimbursed through work, but I have to pay for them up front. And they also come out of my travel sinking fund, so they don't show up here in this budget. And everything else that I spend over what I would like is in the budget, so let's jump into that. Okay, so in February, we're gonna start off on the variable checking account side as always. So starting balance was $400. That stayed the same. Salary was less than this. I think my salary came down because I have not been working extra, and I think I was getting extra money for like the holidays, etc. So this is down $1,443, and basically everything that you see me budgeting here with is money that is left over after I invest and after I save for whatever I'm saving for at the moment. So I think I mentioned I save for travel. I have a bunch of sinking funds. I have a video about the sinking funds that I save for, and additionally I pay for my car in a different account, so that doesn't show up. Talking about my car, I will no longer have a car payment as of April, so I'm very excited about that, and that should free up some money, which I'll probably end up saving. So that's a little bit about the income that you're going to see here. Extra income. So normally there's nothing in here. However, because I spent so much money, I needed like extra money. So I had to move some money around. So first off, I had some dividends sitting in my taxable brokerage account. I have a video also about how much I make in dividends annually. Sometimes I let the dividends stay there until I need them. At least I've been doing that since I semi-retired. Prior to that, I would reinvest the dividends into whatever stock they came from, and that's a good way to like build wealth. However, since my income dropped, I thought it was prudent to have some extra income sources, so that's how the dividends come. So this month, I ended up taking out $1,100 worth of dividends, and the dividends, they don't come to me monthly, they come every quarter. They're like accumulation of all the funds that I have, and then I get them every quarter. So this is from the last quarter, so the end of 2024. And then I still needed extra money to cover these expenses, so this variable checking account is attached in my mind to another account that I designated as a spending account, and that's where I keep excess money that I don't use in this account, and that is a high yield savings account. So that money hangs out in that account until I possibly need it, and that's what I use to pay my credit cards. So I ended up taking or accounting for $896 of that money so that this budget evens out here. So in total for extra income, I had $1,996. So available to work with for February was $3,839. In terms of bills, subscriptions were the same, $15. My electricity bill was higher than it was last year. So, and I noticed again, you'll see in a few for March the bill is higher. So somehow electricity has increased because they've done some changes into how much you're charged at like peak hours. So that is probably making the bill higher. So unfortunately, I'm paying more for electricity, and then internet was $45. Groceries came in lower because, like I said, I have been gone, I think, for 8 days. So I didn't buy any groceries then, and I just didn't buy as much groceries as usual, even outside of like, well, actually, February had less weeks, so maybe this makes sense. So $281. Then fuel, I spent $85. Wellness, okay, this is where I spent thousands of dollars. I mean, it's honestly crazy. I spent $1,275 on wellness. So I had medical bills. I think I mentioned I have a high deductible insurance plan. So that is what allows me to have a health savings account, which is one of the vehicles that I used to invest in. However, because it's high deductible, you have to pay to your deductible before the insurance starts to pay for your medical expenses. So for me, that's like $1,650. And since the year just started, I have to basically spend $1,650 of my own money before insurance does anything. So I ended up getting some bills, so $981 for medical bills. Therapy was $248, and that is included in the deductible as well. And then I got my usual hair, skin, and nail supplements for $46, and that I get every 2 months. So that's what all of that added up to, which was no fun. And I mentioned that I have started for next year, so 2026, I started saving for the deductible beforehand so that I just have that money set aside and I don't have to, come up with this money on a monthly basis, which is one of the benefits of having sinking funds. So home, nothing was spent, and then I just ended up spending $10 to wash my car last month. So far, bills were $127, living was $1,651, and then there was nothing here before because I had not budgeted or anticipated spending any money here, but somehow I've spent like, I don't know, like how many categories are here? Like I ended up buying or spending more money on way more things than I anticipated. So as I mentioned, the work expense, I spent $1,000 on that. And as I mentioned, this will get reimbursed. However, it won't get reimbursed until I complete the trip. So that trip is happening in April. So I'm going to be going to Austria for a week. It should be fun. I haven't been to Austria in a while, actually. It's been a few years. I like Austria okay, but I would not have picked to go to Austria unless I was getting paid from work to do it. Like if I was going to choose a trip for myself, I would go somewhere else, but because I'm getting reimbursed, so it's effectively highly subsidized by work, then that's where we're going. So I'm going to make the best of it. And then I mentioned that I need to get back into swim. Like swimming is like something that you have to do like all the time and or just be comfortable doing it. And I like have not done it since I did it last year. So now I'm trying to do it again. So I spent $150 on swim classes, which I'm actually missing. I missed the class the first week because I was in Nicaragua, and then I'm gonna miss the second class this week because I'm gonna be in Naples. But I should be able to hit the rest of the classes because I'm not going anywhere for a few weeks. Now, I had to spend $62 on shipping. I mentioned to you guys in January when I came back from my last trip, someone broke into my luggage and like stole some costume jewelry that I bought. But in the process, they like damaged my suitcase. So I have a Rimowa Salsa carry-on. Rimowa thankfully has a warranty, so I was able to send it to them to get it fixed. However, you have to pay for the shipping up front and then they send it back to you for free. So that cost me $62, and then Delta is supposed to be refunding me the $62 at some point in time, as it was basically their fault, in my opinion, as to why this happened, because they basically forced me to check my carry-on luggage, which I never do, at least not on purpose. So toiletries, I spent $88. Ended up getting wax. I waxed myself at home because it's way cheaper. And then I had to replace my Sonicare toothbrush because because the other one fell apart, which they tend to do every few years. So there's that. Then I spent $36 on costume jewelry. So I bought, I think, 5 pairs of earrings, and I would say I like most of them. One of them, however, is like way too heavy on my ears because it's like a giant circle of metal. And I did not anticipate that. So one of them I cannot even use. But everything else has been really nice. In fact, I'm wearing one of them now. I'm wearing these ones, and these are super cute. So restaurants, so $27 on restaurants. See, I ended up going to like a winter festival, and they had mulled wine. And I think I mentioned in my Christmas in Europe video that this is my new favorite thing, at least around Christmas time. So they had mulled wine there, so I got 2 glasses for me and JS. And then I think we were out doing something, and I got like Starbucks snacks for us. So that's where that comes in. So $16 on wine, $11 at Starbucks. Business, I paid for a domain, so that's $12. Stationery, I spent $8, I believe, on highlighters. Yes. So I started writing things down. Normally I put everything in my phone, on the calendar or something like that. But I started writing things. I have, I think, about 3 planners / journals for various things. So anyway, I bought some highlighters. I bought a set of 5 last month, but I didn't like the colors. And these ones I feel are better suited, and they were a much better deal. So these are zebra highlighters, I think they're called, or mild liners. Yeah, so these are them. So that was $8. And then gifts, spent $27. Makeup, I was looking for basically just like a single eyeshadow to bring with me to Nicaragua because I didn't want to bring like a palette because it was like, you know, it's like a relaxed vacation. So I ended up spending $7 on a eyeshadow pencil from, I think it's NYX. However, like the color is okay, but it's not really what I wanted. I wanted, my go-to eyeshadow is like a gold bronze color because that just, I don't know, it suits my undertones, and that one was not gold bronze. So anyway, I'm gonna have to find another one for when I have like yet another like relaxed vacation where I just don't want to bring a bunch of makeup and I want something easy. So perhaps I'll get that during the Sephora sale. We'll see what's there. So anyway, I ended up spending a good amount of money. So extra was $1,417. Total spending $3,195. With an end balance of $644 in that account. Moving on to the fixed checking. This was a little better, at least, you know, there was no extraneous spending here. So starting balance $1,207, salary $475, which is basically the average of these bills here, making the available balance in the account $1,952. Bills, this actually went up. Let's see, what did I think yes. So I have monthly maintenance fees for my home, and then I had taxes due. So this was $483. Nothing for home insurance, nothing for car tab. Cell phone was $70. And then I didn't have to buy any passes for Pilates because I'm still working on the last one. So end balance was $1,344. So here's the breakdown of the spending for February. So living was the highest, 44%. Extra 37%, and then bills 18%. So total money that I had to work with for the month was $4,184, spending $3,748, with the breakdown there leaving a difference of $436. Now we're going to move on to March. So starting balance on the variable side is going to be $400. I usually just keep $400 in that account. My salary is $1,493. Not anticipating anything for extra income. Bills, $15 for subscriptions, electricity, $74, internet, $45. So $134 for bills. And then I neglected this part, but the available balance is $1,893. And then living. So groceries, we're gonna budget $400. I believe that should be less than that, but I like to have, you know, something that I can work with. And then gas should be $100 or less. Wellness, I have already spent money in this category since we're in the first week of March. So $368 $128. I imagine this is probably going to go up as well as I get more bills in, which seems to be the theme, is getting medical bills. Medical, $20 so far. Therapy, $126. And then I used up the last of my contact lenses in Nicaragua, so I need to buy some more. Last time I think that cost me like $200, and that usually lasts me a year because I usually go between contacts and glasses. And then supplements, I spend $21 on glucosamine. I think I've mentioned that I know my joints are very creaky. I'm pretty sure I have arthritis. Not diagnosed because, like, what's the point of diagnosis? Like, I'm not debilitated or anything. I'm just like not ideal. But anyway, glucosamine is supposed to be helpful for joints, so I got the liquid version here, and it has a bunch of other things like MSM and hyaluronic acid, etc. But this is it. So I bought a month's supply, which is 2 of these, so $21. In terms of home, it looks like I spent $4. Oh yeah, I had to get batteries for my food scale, so that cost $4. Car maintenance, I probably will wash my car this month, but it should be warm enough that I can just take it to the self-wash, which is usually cheap, and I usually just use coins for that I have. So in terms of living, $872 so far. And then this, I don't know why this is here. Let's fix this. The only thing that I have anticipated spending this month is on hair care, which I've already done. I get a detangler and a subscribe and save that I use every time I wash my hair. So this is it. I've chatted about it before. So this is the African Pride Aloe and Coconut Water Detangle and Condition Pre-Poo. So this usually lasts about a couple, maybe like 3 washes, and I wash my hair every 2 weeks. So twice a month. So I normally get it every 1 to 2 months, so it's $7, definitely worth it. So in terms of spending so far, and what I anticipate should be $1,013. So how I figure out like if I need to put extra in the extras categories is that I look back at the previous year in this particular month. So I looked back at my expenses for March of last year, and there was nothing in there that was necessary that I needed to like account for this month. However, as you know, like things change. So this may very well change by the time I come back to you at the end of the month. But that is it so far. So spending $1,013 and balance $880. Fixed checking. This has $963 when I checked recently. Salary $745. Total available balance $1,708. Home taxes and fees are down to their regular $250, and then cell phone is $70. So not much there. So income $2,238, spending $1,333. Breakdown is there, and then difference is $905. So if I spend any extra money, hopefully it's less than $905. So yes, I'm hoping that March could go back to being a low spend kind of month, as in not having to spend money on things. I haven't been spending anything extraneous, as I mentioned to you guys before, but like things just keep on coming up. It's honestly crazy. I'm looking at the calendar for March to see what I have going on. I don't have anything spendy going on for the rest of the month, except the fact that I'm going to Naples for a few days, as I mentioned. Is there more than one Naples? Let me clarify. I'm going to Naples, Florida, not, I think there might be Naples in Italy or something like that, but no. So that shouldn't cost me anything extra that I haven't saved for. So anything that I spend while I'm traveling in terms of like food and stuff, which is probably the only thing I'm gonna spend money on, I take that out of my travel spending account. So I think we should be good for the rest of the month. We'll see. Let me know what you guys have been up to since I haven't been on here for a few weeks. I would love to hear from you guys. Until the next video, I'll see you.